Now let us talk about another term, that is turgidity, because we are well aware of osmosis and osmotic pressure as well as the osmotic potential by now. So we are going to look into another term, that is turgor pressure. Okay, before we go into this term, into the understanding of this term, there is another term, that is turgidity. Now, what is turgidity? Turgidity is a condition when the cell is swollen. That means it is having water inside it. So, in this lesson, we are going to come across the term turgid, plasmolized, and flaccid. And do keep in mind that all these terms are with reference to a plant cell where we are dealing with the water relations. Now you have to consider the plant cell, the given plant cell that you are considering, it is to be considered as an osmotic system. Alright, why we talked about osmosis, though it is a chemical process, we did discuss about an endosmosis, exosmosis, because ultimately each cell of the plant has to be considered as an osmotic system. And when we are talking about the osmotic system, we have the plant cell, it is having, consider this as the plant cell. This is the protoplasm of the plant cell surrounded by a cell wall, okay. This is the cell wall, this is cell membrane, here lies the protoplasm, here is the vacuole, we have a cell nucleus. So this is a plant cell and this is to be considered as an osmotic system. Now please get rid of these two labeling so that we consider it as a physical system, intact physical system, where we have this plant cell, the inside of the plant cell, which is represented by a protoplasm, is the osmotic system. When this protoplasm is completely filled, the cell is believed to be turgid. Supposedly the cell shrinks down, it would be believed as flaccid. You must have observed in certain plants that the plants undergo wilting. For your consideration, you can take the example, if ever you have noticed that the garden plants, when there are hot, scorchy, sunny days, by the evening they are wilted, they have drooped down because their leaves are a little bit drooped down, they are not as fresh as they are in the morning. So when the night passes on and water is given, they become fresh again. That condition is that individually each cell has gone flaccid. That means the osmotic system has got rid of the water inside it. Here we are dealing with the solvent, which would be water only because it is a plant cell. Now the osmotic system exerts a pressure. So we have the term turgor pressure. This turgor pressure is that pressure which is exerted by the osmotic system. Please pay attention what I am speaking. That turgor pressure is the pressure that is exerted by the osmotic system due to entry of, that is osmotic entry of water into the system. Alright, now supposedly this protoplasm is having lesser water. So the plasma membrane would be shrunk like this, okay. It will not be completely flaccid, it will be shrunk, little bit shrunk. As soon as water is taken up, you would notice that the cell swells up, okay. There would be swelling. The osmotic entry of water into the cell is leading to generation of a pressure inside the osmotic system that is known as turgor pressure, okay. Now this turgor pressure is otherwise also known as hydrostatic pressure, and it is equivalent to the pressure potential of the system. Okay. So now this pressure potential is represented like this. Now the pressure potential is equivalent to the turgor pressure that we call it, and you know that the pressure potential is also equivalent to the osmotic potential. So we have the turgor pressure equivalent to osmotic potential when the cell is completely turgid. That means at that stage when the entry of water would cease, that means the cell is completely swollen up. Because there is a presence of cell wall which is going to exert, supposedly osmotic entry of water is taking place. So because of the entry of water, what is happening, that the protoplasm is increasing in size, and when it has increased completely in size, it exerts a force or a pressure onto the cell wall. Now this pressure is known as wall pressure. No, I'm sorry, it's not the wall pressure, it is the pressure potential or the turgor pressure which is exerted onto the wall of the cell because of osmotic entry of water and because the cell is becoming turgid. So we have this pressure which is exerted onto the wall known as turgor pressure, and this pressure is due to the osmotic system taking up the water, okay, from the surroundings. Now opposite to this, there is exertion of another pressure by the wall, cell wall, which gets little bit subtended and exerts an equivalent and opposite potential onto the protoplasm, that is known as wall pressure. Okay, so what is the wall pressure? Wall pressure is equivalent and opposite to the turgor pressure. The turgidity of the cell is exerting a pressure onto the cell wall, and cell wall is exerting equivalent and opposite pressure onto the protoplasm. So we have turgor pressure is equal to wall pressure, and do keep in mind that turgor pressure is opposite, equivalent and opposite of wall pressure. So this is about turgidity and turgor pressure. You know what is turgidity? It is the condition where the cell is swollen completely and there would be no entry of water in an osmotic system if it is kept in a solution like this. This was the ideal case. We are having a solution in which the water in which the plant cell is taken, and we are considering hypertonic solution and hypotonic, hypo and hyper. There would be entry of water. At one stage the entry would stop. So you can analyze what is the importance of turgidity for plants. Each plant cell is going to retain the water content in itself. Moreover, this concept of turgidity has an important role to play in closing and opening of stomata. The process of wilting is being regulated by turgidity. The process is like folding of leaves and retaining the pressure inside, conduction of water through xylem. All these events are regulated by the turgidity which is maintained by the cells, which is again an attribute because of the turgor pressure which is being generated, which is again an attribute of the osmosis which is taking place. That is why we gave such an importance to osmosis. Now we have special lessons dedicated to the process of plasmolysis, and over here we are going to discuss little bit about a plasmolysed cell and a flaccid cell, so that you have an idea before you step into understanding the relations of a plant cell with respect to various pressures and the plasmolysed condition. Now supposedly you have a solution and a plant cell is kept inside the solution. Now the condition is such, this is a plant cell, I am representing it. This is the cell wall. Inside we have the protoplasm. This would be the huge vacuole inside it. These are the cell organelles. Okay, now consider it this way, that this is the solution which is hypertonic as compared to the plant protoplasm. The outer solution is hypertonic. So what will happen? The water would move out. You know, cell wall is completely permeable. So this cell wall has nothing to do. It is the direct contact of plasma membrane over where the osmosis would be taking place. So just consider that cell wall is nothing. It's not even a proper barricade. The main barricade is the plasma membrane over where the osmosis has taken place. So you can consider the solution in direct contact with plasma membrane, cell wall acting just as a good for nothing barrier. Okay, when the osmosis takes place, there is movement of water outside. Now because the water is moving outside, the protoplasm is losing its turgor pressure, and as a result, this protoplasm is shrinking away from the cell wall. Such shrinking is taking place. Now, you know, cell wall is good for nothing barrier. The hypertonic solution is going to come in contact with the plasma membrane. It is going to remain in contact with the plasma membrane. Again, the protoplasm is going to get rid of the water as a result of exosmosis. There would be further shrinking of plasma membrane like this, and there would be complete overtake of this zone by the hypertonic solution. So what we are observing is that the exosmosis is taking place, and because of which the protoplasm of cell is shrinking, and that is why we have the term plasmolysis. Lysis means breakdown, and the protoplasm, that is why the word plasmo is given over here, plasmolysis is taking place. So this is what you have to understand. And the last thing is being flaccid. The cell becomes flaccid when both the solutions inside of cell and outside of the cell are at common concentration, because of which the cell has completely lost its contact with the cell membrane, the cell wall, and all the water that was present inside the cell, it is almost completely lost. The vacuole has become so smaller, the cell membrane goes on decreasing, and the most concentrated protoplasm is located. Cell wall lies over here. The solutions are isotonic now, and the cell has completely undergone a shrinkage where the protoplasm lies at the most available or most suitable condition, where it can be shrinking to a level not shorter than this or lesser than this. The protoplasm cannot shrink more than this according to the conditions of hypertonic solution which we have taken with respect to the cell. So that is the flaccid condition. Now you can make it out that when the cell is flaccid, the turgor pressure is least. Okay, when the cell is turgid, the turgor pressure is highest, and it is completely equal and opposite to the wall pressure. So these are the terms that you have to keep in mind, and this is what you have to understand in the topic about turgidity and turgor pressure. I hope you get an idea about the relations of a plant cell with these terms. What is osmotic pressure, how a cell acts as an osmotic system, what is turgor pressure, what is the role of turgidity in plants, how is plasmolysis helpful for the cells, that we are going to discuss in next lesson. What is plasmolysis? There are 3 types of plasmolysis. And lastly, you took an idea about the living plant cell from the point of view of turgidity. Okay, it's being swollen. Okay, it's being in a swollen condition. So this is all you have to learn.